Good afternoon and welcome back to another episode of The Longing, where today we are going to be continuing to read Homer's Iliad, now that my voice is a bit more back to normal, and I'm not sniffing every 2 seconds. So, as lovely as that image is, let's get back to the book. Thus having said, the gallant chiefs alight, their hands they join, their mutual faith they plight. Brave Glaucus then each narrow thought resigned. Jove warmed his bosom and enlarged his mind. For Diomed's brass arms of mean device, for which 9 oxen paid a vulgar price, he gave his own of gold divinely wrought, 171, 100 beeves the shining purchase bought. Meantime the guardian of the Trojan state, great Hector, entered at the Scaean gate, 172. Beneath the beech trees' consecrated shades, the Trojan matrons and the Trojan maids around him flocked, all pressed with pious care, for husbands, brothers, sons engaged in war. He bids the train in long procession go, and seek the gods to avert the impending woe. And now to Priam's stately courts he came, raised on arched columns of stupendous frame. O'er these a range of marble structure runs, the rich pavilions of his 50 sons. In 50 chambers lodged and rooms of state, 173, opposed to those where Priam's daughters sate. 12 domes for them and their loved spouses shone, of equal beauty and of polished stone. Hither great Hector passed, nor passed unseen, of royal Hecuba his mother queen, with her Laudice, whose beauteous face surpassed the nymphs of Troy's illustrious race. Long in a strict embrace she held her son, and pressed his hand, and tender thus begun. O Hector, say what great occasion calls my son from fight, when Greece surrounds our walls? Comest thou to supplicate the almighty power, with lifted hands from Ilion's lofty tower? Stay till I bring the cup with Bacchus crowned, in Jove's high name to sprinkle on the ground, and pay due vows to all the gods around. Then with a plenteous draught refresh thy soul, and draw new spirits from the generous bowl. Spent as thou art with long laborious fight, the brave defender of thy country's right. Far hence be Bacchus's gifts, the chief rejoined, in flaming wine pernicious to mankind, unnerves the limbs and dulls the noble mind. Let chiefs abstain and spare the sacred juice, to sprinkle to the gods its better use. By me that holy office were profaned, ill fits it me, with human gore disdained, to the pure skies these horrid hands to raise, or offer heaven's great sire polluted praise. You with your matrons go, a spotless train, and burn rich odours in Minerva's fane. The largest mantle your full wardrobes hold, most prized for art, and laboured o'er with gold. Before the goddesses our honoured knees be spread, and 12 young heifers to her altar led. So may the power, atoned by fervent prayer, our wives, our infants, and our city spare, and far avert Tydides' wasteful ire, who mows whole troops and makes all Troy retire. Be this, O mother, your religious care, I go to rouse soft Paris to the war. If yet not lost to all the sense of shame, the recreant warrior hear the voice of fame. O would kind earth the hateful wretch embrace, that pest of Troy, that ruin of our race. 174. Deep to the dark abyss might he descend, Troy yet should flourish, and my sorrows end. This heard she gave command, and summoned came each noble matron and illustrious dame, The Phrygian queen to her rich wardrobe went, where treasured odours breathed a costly scent. There lay the vestures of no vulgar art, Sidonian maids embroidered every part, whom from soft Sidon youthful Paris bore, with Helen touching on the Tyrian shore. Here as the queen revolved with careful eyes the various textures and the various dyes, she chose a veil that shone superior far, and glowed refulgent as the morning star. Herself with this the long procession leads, the train majestically slow proceeds. Soon as to Ilion's topmost tower they come, and awful reach the high Palladian dome. Antenor's consort, fair Theano, waits, as Pallas's priestess, and unbars the gates. With hands uplifted and imploring eyes, they fill the dome with supplicating cries. The priestess then the shining veil displays, placed on Minerva's knees, and thus she prays. O awful goddess, ever dreadful maid, Troy's strong defence, unconquered Pallas aid. Break thou Tydides' spear, and let him fall prone on the dust before the Trojan wall. So 12 young heifers, guiltless of the yoke, shall fill thy temple with a grateful smoke. But thou, atoned by penitence and prayer, ourselves, our infants, and our city spare. So prayed the priestess in her holy fane, so vowed the matrons, but they vowed in vain. While these appear before the power with prayers, Hector to Paris' lofty dome repairs. 175. Himself the mansion raised from every part, assembling architects of matchless art. Near Priam's court and Hector's palace stands, the pompous structure and the town commands. A spear the hero bore of wondrous strength, of full 10 cubits was the lance's length. The steely point with golden ringlets joined, before him brandished, at each motion shined. Thus entering in the glittering rooms, he found his brother chief, whose useless arms lay round, his eyes delighting with their splendid show, brightening the shield and polishing the bow. Beside him Helen with her virgins stands, guides their rich labours and instructs their hands. Him thus inactive with an ardent look the prince beheld, and high resenting spoke. Thy hate to Troy, is this the time to show? O wretched ill-fated, and the country's foe! Paris and Greece against us both conspire, thy close resentment and their vengeful ire. For thee great Ilion's guardian heroes fall, till heaps of dead alone defend her wall. For thee the soldier bleeds, the matron mourns, and wasteful war in all its fury burns. Ungrateful man deserves not this thy care, our troops to hearten and our toils to share. Rise or behold the conquering flames ascend, and all the Phrygian glories at an end. Brother, 'tis just, replied the beauteous youth, thy free remonstrance proves thy worth and truth. Yet charge my absence less, O generous chief, on hate to Troy, than conscious shame and grief. Here hid from human eyes thy brother sate, and mourned in secret his and Ilion's fate. 'Tis now enough, now glory spreads her charms, and beauteous Helen calls her chief to arms. Conquest today my happier sword may bless, 'tis man's to fight, but heaven's to give success. But while I arm, contain thy ardent mind, or go, and Paris shall not lag behind. And with that we actually come to the end of a chapter, I guess, which also is at the same time as we come to the end of the episode, which is quite fortunate. So, with that all said, I'm going to say thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon or night, no matter what time of day it is. I hope you all have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.